Hi, my name is literal Colby, and this is the meaning behind my new single, Make Me Famous. The song is overall kind of just about a manifestation of becoming a popular artist and making your dream come true. So my dream would be to be a singer, right? And so I wanted it to be the first single because it is very much that manifestation of fame and success. But it could also just mean any sort of dream being chased. I thought it was very sonically like what people are kind of listening to right now, but also I wrote it all by myself over literally just a metronome. So I literally created the whole melody and the whole entire I created literally everything. So it was just, it felt like I did a lot on it and it was very personal, and so I wanted it to be the first single, yes, but also it's like the first song on the album and literally the first story being told, so I just felt like it really made sense to make it a single. And like I said, also sonically it's just very dancey and electronic and fun. This is the first single. Well, my sound right now is very clubby and very like electronic dance vibe. I mean, there's a lot of different sounds on the album. If we're gonna tie it into one sound, it's very that, and I just really wanted it to be very dark and just dancey and like kind of chaotic. I think the next project will be even it'll like switch gears a little bit, but for this project I thought that this song was again very much like a representation of the whole album, with having an instrumental drop but also being melodic and having like slower parts. I felt like it very much encapsulated the whole album as a whole. When I first wrote the song, I was almost giving up as an artist, and I was like, I can't really do this anymore, like it's not going anywhere, I don't know what to do, like no one's really paying attention to me. But I wrote it and I was just literally writing my feelings of like as if I was talking as if I was like some huge celebrity, and it turned into like this manifestation of sorts. I hope that listeners feel very inspired and very not like just hopeful, and don't give up on literally anything that they want to do, because literally anything is possible. You just have to literally push yourself and find connections of like ways to do those types of things. Like I said previously, I wrote it literally over just a metronome, literally nothing, and it was actually one of the first songs I had written for the album, but it was actually like the second last track I even like actually recorded. So like I waited a long time because I knew that it was going to be a good song, so I didn't want it to be like, I wanted to work a bit harder, like have a bit more experience before it's like really starting production on it. So it was like a long time of like just sitting on the lyrics and then coming into the instrumental later, and then the recording and the master, everything else production wise. So it took like a very long time. Well, the next single is very way more chaotic than this one, but it also does have a drop in it. I think these are the only two songs on the album that actually have like instrumental drops. But the next track I think is like one of my favorites, the next single. But they're not really, they mean different things. The album as a whole is literally the journey of fame, and like I didn't do this on purpose, like it wasn't supposed to be a concept album at all. But when you listen to it, it literally tells a story of like someone who wants to be famous, and then things happen, and then the last track is like when it all falls into place, and it's like a full circle moment once you get to the last song. I literally did not choose the concept chose me. Like I literally was just writing things about how I felt in the moment, and I just felt very like down and like I said, almost giving up on my artistic creativity and just everything like that, and I just didn't know what to do anymore. So I was just like, what do I do, right? And so I just wrote what I was feeling, and it turned into this concept of a celebrity or an upcoming celebrity, and their rise to living their truth and their dream. Yes, the album is meant to be listened to in order, not only because of, like I said, that storyline that is in the album, but also because of sonically the directions it goes. Is definitely meant to be listened to in order. It was very meticulously crafted that way. I did what I wanted to do, and certain songs have, like I have a theremin on one of the songs, and I feel like that's not really heard a lot. There's also an electric guitar on that song, but it's also a pop song. I just did what I want. I didn't do anything to like please a certain audience. I did it for myself. Visuals are very important actually. The only issue is I don't really have a budget to be making all these music videos, and it's very like we have to do what we got. But it is very important to me that I make a visual look at least how I can and how I want in the budget I have right now. The album, like I said, is about someone who wants fame, right? They don't have it yet. They don't have money. They don't have everything. So the fashion is very cheap because that's what I can afford. It's realistic. But it's also like personal, like doing exactly like what you want. There is a song on the album that is about not sticking to one side of the spectrum of fashion. Like you can wear pink and bubblegum colors all one day and then wear completely black the next, and it doesn't have to match. It's just like what you feel on the inside fashion wise is what you're gonna wear that day, and that's exactly what the fashion is on the album. Also musically you can think of it that way as well. Like one of the songs is very dark and then another song is a bit more upbeat and another song is more electronic and another one is a bit, you know, a bit more poppy, and that's kind of where it kind of takes you fashion wise. I went through many different influences and I felt a lot of pressure to stick to one or another. I didn't stick to one at all. I was very inspired at first by I wanted to make like louder, you know, more chaotic. I wanted to make metal music at one point, and then I wanted to make like very like just pop music and then another moment, but there is definitely everything that I listen to is on the album in one way or another. Definitely liked my older style of writing where I can kind of have a concept at first and then, you know, write just like titles or cool words that I like and then think of what could that be about if it was a song, and then write to it and already have like a visual and aesthetic concept already built around nothing. Just start with that because that's just how I've always done it and how I always like to do things. And let's just say the next album is already pre-planned and is already looking incredible. Hopeful, but also sparkly and fun. That's 3 words. Oh my goodness, probably Make Me Famous, just because I wanted it to be perfect and it went through so many changes instrumental wise. I'm most excited to perform the next single. That's coming out soon, and Make Me Famous, and the last track on the album as well. Girl, late night, don't be ridiculous. Boots for sure, definitely these boots right here. I would say glam, but glam made from grit, so like you turn trash into treasure. A stage 1000%, because my dream is to perform. My name is Literal Colby, and my new single, Make Me Famous, comes out February 14th, out everywhere, and the new album is coming very soon, so stay tuned.